If you knew better, you do better, but you ain't doing better because you're here with us. It's the Deeper Than Rap podcast with myself, Kev Pua. I got Jay Santos with me to my left. I got Pastor Josh Olivero to my right. I don't know, what was that? That was the Wu-Tang sound?
Prayway.
That's Prayway,
man. Jesus. I just want to honor the fans' request.
I hear you.
Prayway. Jesus. They requested it.
Yo, the fans definitely did like Prayway. They definitely did like Prayway.
I mean, I shared it. mid episode, I paused it. Like, let me put this on my story real quick.
It was good. I'm not gonna lie. The Prayway was definitely good. And that voice that's not familiar that you hear is my boy L, aka Two Tone, aka Mr. I know every rap battle that's going on, aka that's the reason why he's here. But he's also cool, and we gonna mac with him. Jay, please give me some tunes, brother.
Let's see what he has. I don't know. Let's go.
I'll rock this out.
Oh.
NYPD, LAPD,
Uh-huh.
NYPD, when it's on, that's who you get, huh? NYPD, LAPD, NYPD, that's your motherfucking click, huh? NYPD,
I ain't gonna lie,
LAPD,
50 and the streets on fire.
you a motherfucking snitch, huh?
Yo, every bootleg CD that you ever saw has this song on it.
Niggas wanna shine like me, rhyme like me, they don't walk around with a 9 like me, they don't wanna do a 3 to 9 like me,
Hold on,
they ain't strong
hold on.
enough to take 9 like me. Yo, you thinking about shitting on 50? Save it. My songs belong in the Bible with King David. I teach niggas sign language.
I was here for that.
Son.
Wait, what happened?
I was here for that.
That's blasphemous bars for you?
That's
blasphemous bars?
Anytime Jesus is being exalted, I'm with all of that.
Wow.
Jesus falls is something you gotta
Prayway.
Prayway.
Hey, yo, man, 50 had he had the streets on fire, bro. It was like 99 to like 03.
Oh, sir.
Nah, I had to.
Oh, I see where you're going. Yeah.
Like 99 to 03, he was cooking. He was cooking up.
Murder.
03, yeah, that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
believe you, murder.
How the Rob came out in 99, didn't it?
He
That was-
started coming around that time.
Speaking of which, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That man's career, like his trajectory and the way he's been able to like pivot from like transitioning from music to like investments to
Vitamin water.
That's what I'm saying. The vitamin water stuff,
Social media influencers.
social
making
media,
fun of people,
TV
trolling.
stuff. Speaking of which, shout out to Power. I mean, I don't like the show, but shout out to Power.
Wow.
I don't watch it either.
Bro, like I was saying earlier, bro, how in the world do you find parking every time you pull up in Manhattan?
Listen.
Out of all the things
I'm a season and a half back. Don't spoil nothing, all right? I gotta catch up still. Relax.
That's an awkward conversation. Right? It's like, I can't watch it no more. Why? Somebody spoiled it. He always found parking.
That's not even a spoiler.
Nah, no, don't spoil nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about the show.
Parking every season.
Nah, man. But yeah, yo.
Wait,
like,
did you start watching it late? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I started way late.
Way late. It's crazy. I haven't watched not a single episode.
It's fire. First like few seasons is fire.
Yeah.
And once you hooked, them hooked.
It's on season 6.
All right, so like
The storyline's mad redundant.
No, it's not. I'm on season 4. No, it's not yet.
Jay, my man's was trapped in a burnt building and all he got was some skin grafts and was back alive.
It may crack do it all the time.
He wasn't a crackhead, he was a crack dealer.
50.
You gonna spoil it.
50 was a crack dealer.
50 was a crack deal.
Talk about it, because you was in your prime around that time.
First of all,
And you from Queens. Shout out to
Far
Far Rock.
Shout out to Far Rockaway.
Shout out to Far Rock.
That's the fact. Far Rockaway, all jokes aside.
Rest in peace, Stack. Rest in peace, Chinks.
Most dangerous hood in the history of God's green earth.
Word?
That's a fact.
Real quick, power note. There's some like power like episodes shot in Far Rockaway. Keep going.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm just saying.
Far Rockaway is the wildest hood in the history of the United States of America. I might be slightly overreacting here, but it is what it is. 50 Cent definitely had, when he dropped How to Rob, everyone thought that was kind of like, that's cute. You know what I think accidentally gave fire to that?
All the celebs responding.
Jay-Z responding at Summer
yeah.
Jam. I'm about $1.
Who the f is 50 Cent?
Whoever didn't know, looked him up. It was like,
After that, yeah, they definitely
it
did.
was like, who is this guy?
Definitely did.
And I'm sure 50 Cent was happy about that. But
Wasn't Pun mad at him too or something? Pun was looking for
I
him.
rob Pun without a gun, snatch his piece and run. He
Yeah,
weighs
400
400 pounds. How you gonna catch me, son?
The 50 Cent rapper, very funny, get your nut off, because in real life, you know I'll blow your motherfucking head off.
Let me ask you a quick question. Pun was down. What crew was Pun down?
By the way, that's Pun's response. If y'all ain't know, because I know y'all ain't really hip hop heads
what
like
crew,
that.
What crew was Pun down with?
They don't disrespect me.
Well,
Please tell us. Ice Cube.
Oh
Has
my
not
God.
been relevant as long as Fat Joe. T-Squatters.
So yeah, Pun was part of Terror Squad though.
Yeah. But then, ironically, Jay had that line, right? Summer Jam, I believe he threw that out there. And I think 50 spoke on that. 50 was like, yo, when Jay said that, right? But then Jay also had a line in Blueprint 3, J. Cole, Stars Born.
Yeah.
50 came through, like hurricanes do, right? And he was talking about it, and then he was like, yo, when 50 came, I told everybody, y'all better put your albums out, because
Put it out, yeah.
he said, get your money now, because there's going to be a tsunami. And true to form, 50 took over for like the next, he went diamond twice. That's crazy. That's...
yeah, he was kind of bugging for a little while, but even his first album was a combination of a lot of different mixtapes. Because if you go back to 50, do the history, do the knowledge on him, there's a lot of songs that was on a lot of different mixtapes, and he just kind of combined, like he just made the Avengers of all his songs and put it on Get Rich or Die Trying. That's basically
Definitely
what he did.
He
That's
definitely
what he
did.
It was
Definitely.
And it doesn't hurt if you got Dre behind you.
Yeah, well, considering
for
the
real.
fact that he was blackballed by Columbia, right?
Columbia, yeah.
Columbia tried to get him out of here. He got blackballed, came back, had In the Club, got cracking with Eminem and all that, and then just went on a tear. Like, just straight up tear. Like, anything that he touched was gold.
Everything.
I mean, they still playing In the Club for everybody's birthday. That's
Facts.
the birthday song.
Straight
birthday
facts.
song now.
Straight
That's
facts.
that's the electric slide of birthday songs. I'm just saying.
Yo, they definitely doing. The bottle girl comes with the bottle of the sparklers.
The sparkles?
She tired of the ding. Like, not again.
It's your birthday.
So one of the things I think 50 did that changed, he changed the way he released stuff. He had a crew, right? And so he didn't just keep putting out 50 Cent albums. He started dropping group projects.
Back for Mercy.
Crazy. And then he dropped Banks and Yayo and Buck and all that. That was unheard of.
Yo, can we please? He gave Yayo a gold album.
Tony Yayo.
Tony
I'm
Yayo.
sorry,
Gold
but Tony Yayo's garbage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He gave Tony
sorry.
Yayo a
Correct.
gold album.
We gonna
No,
shit
I'm
like that.
sorry. No, I'm sorry. Listen.
Talk about it, Jordan. Talk
On the
about it.
documentary on Running, he killed the whole song. How Game come in with a fire first verse and Tony Yayo come. If you see me on the run, I'm running. Like, what are you? Nah, it's over, dog.
Clearly.
Skill.
Skill.
Yo,
So
skill.
productive, dog. That's it. That's what
So seductive.
The first album was fire. I ain't gonna lie. Curious was fire. I
But
know you don't love me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
because you ain't the same when Eminem's around.
Yo,
That was hard.
I know you
Tony
don't love
Yayo,
me as a
alright.
and that whoever made that beat,
Facts. So yeah, but don't get me wrong. Listen, I have no problem giving him his kudos.
Who?
50.
Oh, all right.
How?
Tony Yayo.
he was still mad.
About to throw the mic at you.
He's about to quit. Y'all really not.
Nah.
All right.
Really go.
Put the mic down. All right, y'all have a good day.
I got no problem giving him his kudos, right? 50 I'm talking about here. However, come on, man. It was over after that second album, man.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was, man.
He
After
sold like
Massacre?
Album sales does not mean you put out good music, bro.
Good music. Now you bugging Curtis was fire.
No, it was not.
I had that. Yes,
What
it
was on Curtis?
was.
What was on Curtis?
I get money.
That tells you enough.
Ayo Technology.
The fact that
Thank
you don't
you.
know. The fact that
Thank
you
you.
don't
No,
know.
it was I get money. Ayo Technology. I'll
Yeah,
still
yeah,
kill.
yeah. She robbed the pole. Come
Yeah,
on,
that
that
was-
was wag, bro. Come
Timbo
on.
laced him, dog. Don't do that.
Come
Timbo
on,
he did the
man.
right thing with that.
He about to jump in the podcast.
Yo,
Don't do that.
No, we not doing that. Look, come on.
And before I self-destruct was fire too. Yo, don't do that.
That
What was
a
on
good
that
album.
one?
Don't
Wasn't
do
Disco
that.
Inferno and
Nah, Disco Inferno was the second one.
Yeah, that's the
Oh
second
yeah,
one.
then that was the
I
last
take you
album.
to the candy
Yeah, that was
shop.
the last album.
What
One
song?
taste of
What
what I
album was?
got.
What album was the 50 Cent with Neo when he took a "Have a Baby, Mommy, Baby"?
That was
baby,
before I
baby,
self-destruct.
That was a good song.
Fam,
Nah, that song 50 Cent and Neo,
that
that was hard.
musically, he was buns, bro. Y'all gas. I don't want to hear none of that. He did not have the streets on fire.
Those
And it's the
songs-
mixtapes was crazy. You remember the mixtapes in high school? Don't act like you wasn't
What
bumping them.
mixtapes 50 had in high school?
Oh my God, dog.
What mixtapes he have in high school?
What?
He's the mixtape king.
In high school, in 2010.
Yo, yeah,
It was in high school 2010?
Yes.
All right, show my age. I'm gonna sit this one out.
Graduated 2012, but who's wondering?
That's class 2012.
But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but,
Okay.
DMAE representing.
nah. But
Trying to do it for
what
y'all.
mixtape did he put out in 2010? He didn't put out anything.
See,
What?
like 3 mixtapes.
Name them.
I gotta Google it, man.
Exactly my point.
I gotta Google it.
Animal Ambition. You the only one that knows that stuff.
Nah,
That was a mixtape? Animal Ambition was a mixtape?
nah, man, that was like 2013. He had a few mixtapes in high school.
I don't know, man. Some of those songs after the second album would have did well streaming wise, like in today's era, but a lot of those albums wouldn't sell right now.
No, not at all. Them albums was weak. They was trash. And he's lucky he rode the coattail of Kanye on the Curtis
What
album.
album was? Oh, that was the Curtis
That was
album.
the Curtis album that he wrote Kanye's coattail and was able to sell what, 600K or something like
That's
that?
a lot.
Or 500K?
That's a lot.
Riding Kanye's coattail.
That's a
that
lot.
all?
dog.
When did he do that again?
Riding Kanye's coattails.
Yeah, when did he do that again?
What album was Curtis up against?
Graduation.
Graduation.
What
And
songs
it's
were on
over now.
This is the story of a champion.
What was on that?
Yeah, you're bugging. You're bugging.
Bugging, dog. He had a number 1 hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sing it. Go ahead, sing it.
Oh,
Sing
yeah,
it.
you
Go
know
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah, Stronger was
I had
number
a
1
dream
hit.
I could buy my way to heaven, Pastor.
When I woke, I spent that on a necklace. That's why he messed up in the game like he is right now, talking about my Jesus like that. Like he.
Chill, that's the GOAT.
Anyway, all right, my fault. My
Nah,
fault.
but so listen, man. I was not feeling none of the music. However,
Yeah,
he's been able to stay relevant. I'll give him that much.
relevant.
50, yes.
That's saying it mildly.
Mildly.
Wait, did Kanye have a Diamond album yet?
Nope. Did he have 2?
I don't know. Did he, Jay?
Relax, that's the GOAT.
I just tried to
That's the
look
GOAT.
it up, like
Relax.
mid-
Everybody relax.
Podcast.
Relax.
I'm just saying.
Relax.
I just tried to
No.
look it up. I
No,
don't
he
see any
hasn't.
Diamond albums
Not at
accredited.
His most is
So,
3 mil.
so we not going.
He
we
went
not gonna-
triple.
So we not going to act like he ain't have Jimmy Iovine, Eminem, and Dr. Dre behind him.
Who cares? Who?
Obi Trice went gold with that
He
team
didn't go
behind
Diamond.
him.
He didn't go Diamond.
Obi Trice
Didn't
went
sell 10
gold.
million. Diamond.
Off of that, listen to who's Obi Trice.
Diamond.
Obi Trice was nice.
He was nice.
He was good.
He's not going gold without Dre, M, and Jimmy Iovine.
That's cool, but Diamond? That's 10 million.
Yellow,
Twice.
Yellow Wolf got the same team, and he don't got a gold, diamond.
No, he didn't. He had Eminem and Paul Rosenberg.
He's in the same.
Fam,
they're the same.
No, it's not the same.
I get what you're saying. I understand what y'all saying. But you take Kanye's best album and you put it up against 50's first album.
Stop it. Stop
I better
it.
chill
Stop
out.
it.
Hey,
Kanye got.
I better chill out.
Kanye got
You
at least.
serious?
50's first album. Are
Kanye
you
got 3
serious?
albums better
Nah,
than that.
seriously, all
Relax.
jokes aside, it's about to get deeper than rap. Y'all bugging out.
Kanye got 3 albums better than rap.
Are
Y'all
you
bugging.
serious?
Nah, y'all bugging.
50 Cent's
Y'all
first
bugging.
album was bananas.
Alright,
It was
pull up-
fire.
I'm gonna pull up the
was
track
fire.
list to give it to them.
It was fire.
It was better than
We're
Kanye's
not
best album.
talking sales.
No, you're bugging. You're bugging. I'm sorry.
It wasn't sales that put 50's album over the top.
Okay,
He took
hold on,
over the streets.
Hold on. Because we need a consensus here. What would you say is Kanye's best album?
I'll go with Dark Fantasy.
What would you say Kanye's best album?
I don't like
You don't
Kanye
even
West.
know. Dark
So how you
Twisted
gonna-
Fantasy.
oh my
What would you say is Kanye's best album?
This is a personal thing. 808 Heartbreaks.
Yo, my man, stop playing. Stop playing.
It puts the whole
Stop
genre of
playing.
music.
That's it.
Either so if you took 808s, if you took Dark Twisted Fantasy musically.
All right. I'm not gonna throw 808s on there as better than.
All right, but it was more culture shifting. It shifted culture.
Alright, if we're not gonna
That's a whole other conversation, but it shifted culture.
Okay.
It's better than 50's first album.
If we're not gonna talk,
Wow.
Musically.
There's multiple.
The reason he sold 13 million records is because 13 million people looked at that album and was like, I need to get that.
Nah, Jimmy Iovine bought 13 million copies.
wow, that sounds like a little bit of hate.
I ain't gonna lie. You got
So emotional.
Cause college dropout better than that labor registration.
Say it.
How many
Say
records
it.
did he sell off that?
Say it.
I'm saying if we could just pull
So
some.
it's still the best album of all time.
Thriller?
Yeah, it's still the best album of all time.
Thriller was in a different
It's
era.
Eminem's albums, the best rap albums of all time.
That was a
Let him
hard.
tell it.
Don't play with me with
Let
Eminem.
him tell it.
Come on, stop
I got it.
Stop
If
it.
I go on my bedroom
Stop.
has a shrine to Eminem right
That's
now.
pretty weird.
If all you saying is you just feel that Rich or Die
love
Trying is
that.
better. That's fine. Don't throw sales in there as 13 million records.
If we're not gonna talk sales though, we could go track for track of what y'all think, and I could put a song from Get Rich or Die Trying.
But before we do
let's not even do
that, if we're saying 50 Cent sold that because he had this machine behind him, Kanye had machine
Well,
behind him.
he said that. I don't care about sales. You told the wrong person about sales. I
So
don't
what
care
would be?
about sales.
So here's a question for you. What would be a good, or what is? And this is not a trick question. I really want to know. What's a good measurable, or what's a good metric for you to?
For me, it's just if the album is good. Like the album can go wood.
man.
I don't care if the album doesn't even touch gold. If the album is good, it's good to me.
So the interest that it generates, that doesn't, you don't.
No, I don't
factor
care
that
about that because it's
Hype
albums I
is
never
hype.
heard
the
before.
machine could make the hype.
in.
Yeah, because it's
the machine
albums-
didn't hype up Get Rich or
Okay,
Die
It's
Trying.
albums I never heard before that came out years ago that I'm just finding out.
The
It's like,
machine
oh,
did
it's
it-
good, and then I listen to it.
The machine didn't hype Get Rich or Die Trying.
You can make that case, but that album was fire.
Hey yo, audience,
it was fire.
this man is losing.
Can we?
It was fire. I had the album.
What?
It was fire.
Out of
It was
those-
Who
crazy.
didn't? Everybody had it.
Out of all the Kanye albums we're talking about, and those two 50 Cent albums that we're talking about, what aged better? Like what?
Kanye's albums.
Kanye's album aged better than.
And
Yeah.
all the 50s, yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Get Rich or Die Trying is still one of those tapes you can bump top
Yeah.
to bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom, you can. Massacre.
Massacre's not happening.
I agree
I had
with
some
that.
Skipples
You're
songs.
not playing
agree with
Baltimore
that.
Love Thing and
I
everybody
agree
about to
with
go crazy.
I agree with that. Massacre was probably just people like the hype still. It was a good album.
It was a good album.
But it was
That was
still
The
hype
Hangover.
of
It was The
50.
Hangover.
It was the hangover. That's a great way to explain
That's
it.
why I'm the host.
That's a great. That's why you get the 80%.
Falling asleep
but
getting the
yo,
80%.
But can I reel this in? Let's reel this in.
Go.
Pivoting off the music, right? He's been able to stay relevant. You said it's an understatement, but he's been able to be in our faces continuously throughout these years.
Right.
And so there's something to be said there, right?
Yep.
So you pivoted from selling crack to making music, to now your music fell off.
Hell of a pivot.
Hell of a pivot. Your music fell off. However,
Whoa.
you became known.
Don't subs like
Your
that.
music
You can't-
fell off, and you became an investor in certain products and flipped vitamin water. You know what I'm saying? What was the? He got like a 10% stake or something like that, right? He had like a 10% stake.
A big enough piece,
And it was what, like,
Coca-Cola came and bought it.
yeah, it was like 400 mil. He got like 400 mil off the deal or whatever.
It was 2 something. Let's relax.
Yeah. So then then he got hot again with the I Get Money. He got hot again with I Get Money. Cool, whatever. But then he made a transition into media. And when I say media, I mean he creating movies, creating whatever. Now, he put out a couple of independent films. But they put him in a position to get a deal with Stars, which is dope because number one, Stars before Power, as much as I don't like the show, before Power, Stars did not have a buzz amongst our community. Let's be real.
Our demographic.
Our demo,
context.
it wasn't
For sure,
that.
for sure.
You went
I'll take that.
you went to go to Stars to see old movies or PG-13 porn. That was it.
Got me.
I don't have
Sorry.
a subscription to Stars, so I don't know what
No,
you've been talking about right now.
if you had cable in 04, you knew what Stars was.
You had to make sure ESPN was on the last button so that you could.
Facts.
Facts. For
You hear
real.
that door creak? Ooh. But
I had a story that happened to me, man. But go ahead, man. Don't ever fall asleep late at night trying to watch your
no,
favorite
you
channel,
definitely did tell
dog.
me that. You did tell me that. But yo,
Pivot.
nah, but yo, Stars was dead. Like, and especially considering that we were in the streaming era of Netflix, HBO Go, and all these sites that were coming out.
Yep.
Stars was dead. So 50 had the foresight to be like, yo, let me get on the team and I'm gonna get y'all cracking. And so he gets on the Stars and puts out Power.
Yeah.
And we showed nothing but love to him. And to his credit, because it's gonna sound like I'm crapping on the show, I liked the first season. The first season was good. First season seemed like Stars put money behind them. They promoted it well. They had great writers. They did a great job creating a great base for a show. So then they gave him a launching pad to do different creative stuff. He built the buzz off that. He continued being relevant through social media. As much as I don't want to admit it,
Genius.
he's a great marketing man.
Yeah.
He knows how to market his products. Even the slogans, the get the strap, the you owe me money, all this other stuff like
50.
the what?
The 50. Remember the
50.
yeah.
50.
Oh, like yeah, that the beef with Rick Ross, Officer Ricky. He had vodka at some time. What was effing vodka.
Effing vodka.
He had effing vodka. So like he found a way to just remain in the game, even though he was not relevant musically, and not that he even needed it because after the Coca-Cola deal, it was over. He had money in the bag.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? He had money in the bag, but created power. Now put stars on the map in terms of streaming services. Stays relevant via social media. It's telling of who he is as a man.
For sure, because I think there's a time where Stars had even dropped it, right? Mm-hmm. And then he was like, "All right, well, we canceling Stars," and everybody removed Stars from their package.
Yeah, I think they made a threat to drop it or something because he wanted more money for writers or something like that, or he was trying to keep the budget and they didn't give him the same budget.
That showed you the creative, like the power behind 52. It's not even just the fact that he's there; it's the influence he has, the people he has on Instagram, like everything plays a part into even the people he's dissing. It's kind of like when he was with 6ix9ine. Like, that's my son. Like, no one would let you call them their son. He's a grown man. But they still use that ploy to, like, elevate and shoot that and skyrocket that to some other platform. So he's definitely smart. He knows what he got going on. It's dope.
And I think the biggest thing for 50 Cent is that he's realized the biggest asset he has is himself. And that's why when Rick Ross' baby mom sued him, and he rightly went into court. She won the case, by the way.
She did.
And he went into court. He was like, I don't got no money. And he was right because he believed in himself so much that whatever money he got, he reinvested into himself and projects he was working on.
Shout out Dame Dash.
Yeah, I'm about to say Dame.
True.
That's kind of like the topic y'all was talking about.
That was good.
I told you, that's why I'm the host, baby.
That's the same thing y'all was talking about, like on that episode previously with them saying quitting your job. Like he was just like invest in yourself. That's the same.
He invested in himself.
Absolutely.
So he wasn't lying when he was like, I don't got no money.
I don't have any liquid cash.
I don't have any liquid.
Word of the day, y'all. Liquid cash. Else. Go Google it.
That's a fact. And I think that's one of the biggest things. But though he's doing it successfully, he's not the first person to reinvent himself.
No, not at all.
Can we name? Are there any other names you guys can come up with?
You know who I'm gonna say? My man, Jump Off Joe Beezy, Jersey in the building.
Show me your Joe Button tattoo. Hurry up. Just real quick.
Show me 6ix9ine tattoo.
I'll show you the 6ix9ine tattoo.
Could you not? Please.
Joe
That's
Beezy,
your brother.
talk about it though.
Wow, that's how we get it. There was no mention of that up to this point.
Blicky got the stiffy up.
All right.
What's up?
Reinvention of Joe Button. Talk about it.
Joe Budden, if y'all don't, well, actually, y'all do know, because everybody, anytime you mention Joe Budden's name is, oh, who's that? That's Mr. Pump It Up Man, which I ain't gonna lie, I was guilty of up until like 2010 when I got up onto his mixtapes, Mood Music 2, Mood Music 3, and Mood Music 4, crazy. Super crazy. If you depressed, listen to those albums, you'll be more depressed.
Hey,
I'll
be damned if everybody didn't go through Ordinary Love shit. I'll be damned.
I'm bumping Roman's Revenge, but I'm plotting my own.
Talk.
Ruger aimed if I'm who you trying to belittle.
Did he start to talk to him? I think he
yes,
might have started to talk to him.
The ad-lib.
Yeah, that might have came from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might have came from him.
Absolutely. But yeah, Joe Budden he had the hit with Pump It Up, but then he went very underground, and it seemed like he was chumming the water. It seemed like he was dead. And so 2016 he put out his last album. He says it's his last album. He hasn't put out music since, so we just gotta take him for his word. But he retired in 2016. 2015 he started a podcast.
So he started a podcast before he retired.
Yeah.
He might have been teeing up.
Yeah, he was putting up. He put out an album 2015, put out an album 2016, and then he dedicated his time all to the podcast in 2016 after the album dropped.
Yeah.
And dude, the podcast is doing numbers, bro. Like he is the man in terms of our demo
Culture.
and our culture in terms of podcasting.
Facts.
Right? Because Nori I ain't gonna lie, when Nori dropped, Nori had it. Nori came out gunning. Nori came out the gate smoking with podcasts.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Drink Champs was great.
It's a good one.
However,
Pre-revolt.
Shout out to Revolt.
Fact, shout out to Revolt.
Shout out to Revolt, but
Jay, we need to add. You got a promo for him.
Listen.
But pre-Revolt, Nori had it. Joe Budden at some point, he just eclipsed them in terms of content.
Because
And-
how many does he have?
Joe Budden only has
Yeah.
one. You mean episodes?
Episodes, yeah.
No.
What are you talking
He has
about?
the Joe Budden podcast. He has Pull Up. and he has State of the
State of the
Culture.
culture.
But that stuff was after. I'm saying like even I'm saying podcast for podcast, right? Just podcast for podcast. At some point, the Joe Budden podcast eclipses Drink Champs because Drink Champs they get fun and it just gets a little too commercial. Sometimes it gets dead. It's a little watered down. And Joe Budden's show is not guest based, which I think helps him. It helps because their host, like the host between them three, is awesome. Their chemistry is dope. But that's straight away from the point. So he has a podcast. At some point, he eclipses in terms of quality Drink Champs, and he becomes the media man. He's created multiple moments in terms of like the culture. He recently had the Nicki stuff, which I wasn't a big fan of, but whatever. He had the Nicki situation. Cardi B just bugged out on them recently. They started. Dame Lillard started the beef with Shaq on the Joe Budden podcast.
Dame Lillard gave him bars.
Straight bar word. So yeah, man, I think like that just and he's spoken on it. I spoke on it last podcast in terms of like the whole viral clip that went with the whole quitting your job stuff. It just once again it shows a trait in some of these people that continue to reinvent themselves, which is perseverance.
Yeah.
It's perseverance. Just no matter what gets thrown at you, you take it on the chin, F it, keep it moving.
Yeah.
You like people that, they reinvent themselves after the music. I like people that reinvent themselves with music. So it's like you go from being a rapper or whatever you are to, you're not that good of a rapper. You make a hit or two, but then like people completely shit on you, and then you have to go underground, and then you come back up as something different. You look at it like, man, this is hit nigga.
Ooh. Talk about
This
it.
guy is incredible.
Talk about it.
This guy is like
Hitmaker.
Young Berger's Hitmaker, and we all know him from
That's wild.
business, and then he had all this stuff. He went from, he had hits, but people like thought of him as a joke.
Yeah, he was getting his chain
And he
snatched
was
at
getting-
one point.
Yeah, like he was getting robbed and
Vino.
whatnot. He was getting robbed. He said some disparaging things about black women that the community didn't like. So it was like, all right, man, we done with him.
Yeah.
And then he comes back with hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. But you don't know he's producing these hits. And like he's like, this is him. Like I'm sure he's not only producing them, like he's telling people how to do this and how to do that. And now he's, what is he, the VP of
VP of Atlantic.
of Atlantic, and it's just like, come on, man. Like it's like the hustle you gotta have to keep in the same industry. Like he didn't leave. Like he was in the same industry, and like it was like, all right, like
Same
nah,
industry
nah.
that gave him a shitty name.
Yeah.
He persevered it.
And the same thing with the same thing with her. Like she
yeah, her
completely
too.
reinvented herself to what we know now, and everybody's bumping her
I
now.
don't know, you know who her is?
No.
She's a singer she was like a child prodigy singer or whatever, and at some point she just went away and she went underground, and then she rose through the ranks and renamed herself Her. She used her real name when she was younger, and then she renamed herself Her.
Gabby.
We didn't see her for like 2 years. Like you just hear that Her drops new music and it's fire, but nobody saw what she looked like.
Yeah, like
for
she was
2
hella
years.
mysterious, yeah.
And then finally she reappeared on the scene, and now she's like the hottest thing in R&B to the females.
That her album is changing. Like
I saw her Tiny Desk performance. That thing was fire.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I'm not gonna lie. Her voice, everything she did, like her cadence, like it's dope. I like her.
Josh, you can think of anybody else who reinvented or like pivoted their career?
I like the Young Berg story because I knew who Young Berg was. For me, he disappeared, and then I knew who Hitmaker was, but I had no idea that was Young Berg. Like I remember when I first heard of Young Berg, he did that song with Pitbull. I party like a rock star. I'm not gonna quote the rest of it because I'm saving and sanctified.
Yeah, you got me on that. I don't know that song.
It was dope. Like it was a hit record. And then I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little ashamed of myself, but it wasn't until Hitmaker just did the Breakfast Club interview where they was like, yeah, Young Berg, and I was like, that's Young Berg?
Facts.
The last time I heard of Young Berg was when he got slapped by Mano.
Facts. But
I'm just saying, like, this is
if you were an avid listener of the Joe Budden podcast, back in 2017, they did a great interview with Berg. Well, it wasn't an interview; it was just a podcast, and he spoke about all this. It was fire.
I didn't catch that, so that's why I say I should be ashamed of
Joe
myself.
Joe Budden is the only person who Hitmaker allows to call him Berg still. He'd be like, "Yo, I'm not gonna call you Hitmaker." He's like, "It's He was like, "Just call me Berg."
Do you think Chris Brown had a reinvention or no?
Nah, he just came back. He ain't have a reinvention. He's still being women.
Nah, he
I'm
did.
playing with you.
He had a reinvention.
In a way, Kanye's the same way because every album is different. He just segues a little bit differently. Like even now, he went from doing Yeezus
I like that.
to a completely different. Like now, he's dropping a gospel album.
Joey, go.
And I'm
He's
so
like Kanye Anders right there.
I'm just saying, man. Alright, like it's cool with the gospel. I just hope it's not like a full gospel.
You gonna have to go to church?
No, I need some sins in the Kanye album.
Hey, yo.
Sunday service.
I need some sins.
He gonna confess.
You know who's prime, I think, for a reinvention though? Tinashe.
Tinashe?
Yeah.
She's
Because, like-
chumming the water too.
She's like the perfect candidate to have like the reinvention.
I like it. Hey yo, us talking about Hitmaker reminded me about hits, the music industry, all that good stuff, right? So the BET Awards was recorded over this last weekend. Now, I ain't gonna lie, the only thing I saw from the BET Awards, or like that was going viral, was that Meg Thee Stallion won like mixtape of the year. Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion.
Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion. Didn't she get to Rock? Is she with Rock Nation now?
She's managed by Rock Nation. She's managed by, which doesn't surprise me because she came from the 300 label with Kevin Lyles and them. So I'm not shocked.
With Leor Cohen.
Nah, Leo Cohen is an owner of 300.
Didn't he start?
He started it, but he left. He's the head of YouTube Music or something like that.
He is head of
Something like that.
YouTube Music.
Kevin
He
Lyles
started 300.
absolutely did. Facts. Leo ain't sponsoring us. Yo, watch this video get flagged. Watch this video get flagged. But yeah, also another thing too that I saw at the BET Awards crazy was there was battle rappers all over the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
So like I saw Sue Surf, I saw
Talk about it.
I saw Shotgun Suge with his little silky yellow shirt. I saw not Tay Rock. I saw is it T-Top?
T-Top.
T-Top was out there.
T-Top.
There was a couple dudes out there. And so with that being said, I saw it, I'm like, I'm glad L is coming here because I have no idea what they do here. So like why were we even at the BET Awards, bro?
So apparently, you know, Smack being a part of the culture and, you know, being so involved, he's brought battle rappers before to the event. They've had ciphers and things like that. Shout out to the BET ciphers because that's kind of like what keeps me in tune. I'm one of those guys who like bars. Like if you like bars, that's kind of like what you want to watch. You stay in tune for the battle rap ciphers, the battles ciphers and things like that. So Smack kind of just, I guess he plugged himself in a way so well that he got 4 battle rappers to compete in a tournament. And the way the tournament was set up was each of these battle rappers, I think it was Shotgun Suge, Geechee Gotti, who's on a crazy run right now, T-Top, and DNA. So basically he got these 4 people into this event, and what they did was they kind of just did like an old school rap battle where it's like 90 seconds and it's an elimination. And they battled for $25,000, which was cool because that's never been done before.
That's dope.
like,
Give them a big prize money
that's
like that.
super monumental. So these guys are making $25,000 maybe in a battle, or they'll make that in a year like just doing battles. But right now they had the BET event, they did the battle, it was for $25,000, and it was the first time they were ever in front of such an audience like this. Like the whole culture got to see what battle rap actually was. So now, not only is Smack getting the URL plug, but now they got the whole mainstream culture, which is kind of like tuned in, which was crazy. And they got to even split the money. So DNA, if you're not gonna watch it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but DNA kind of just, that's my guy. Queens get the money, you know?
Queens get the money.
Queens get the money. So they battled it out 90 seconds, elimination, and it was just a dope feeling, man. Like, shout out to the culture.
Who was the judge for the rounds and stuff?
So the crowd got to participate. The crowd was kind of like the judges. They was kind of like hyping it up in front of the judges. So that kind of fits a battle rapper like DNA anyway. He kind of poses to the crowd. He current event bars, just talking to the crowd, and that's what's going to win you over. If the crowd feels like they can participate, that's the person that's going to win. So big win for hip hop, big win for like that culture, the battle rap culture and things like that for sure, man. It was crazy. But it's going to air, I think, Tuesday or something like that. Shout out to the BET Awards. It's going to be dope. And then they split the money, man. $25,000, 4 battle rappers. That's crazy.
That's dope. For that, my bad. For that culture, that's dope, man. Because like their only source of income, like not only, but like the majority of their income comes from the smack battles and whatever. Which I don't know how they split money in terms of those battles, but I heard that Smack doesn't pay them from the YouTube views, which is foul and it's whack because the YouTube page of URL is not lit without those rappers.
Well, you got to think about it like this. NFL stars don't get paid off the ratings that they're from the channels they're playing on, right? So what they're doing is Smack is rating you based off your worth. If you are guaranteed to give me 1 million views on my page, I'm gonna give you 30 bands off the, like 15 up front. After your battle, if you perform well, I'll give you another 15. Whatever it is, but that's how he's. You gotta come prepared, and the more you prepare, you come.
So my rebuttal to that, and let's not even get too deep into it, but my rebuttal to that is the NFL is like 1,000 players. The NBA, which is made of stars, and URL is made of stars. The NBA takes their TV money and a percentage of it gives it to their players, and they split it up amongst their players. And so you're making, so when you have a battle like Sue or whatever that cracks 1 million plus, and you have sponsors on those videos, you should give them a pay. I'm not saying you gotta give them 80% or 50%.
You gotta fight for that.
Quick rebuttal though.
Ooh,
So
The battle rappers, they gotta fight for that. Like if you know he's making money off views, they gotta fight for it. Like it's not that like it isn't like the NBA just gave him the money. Oh yeah, let's split it. No, they fought for it.
And I hate to cut you off. Let me just undergird his point.
Go ahead.
NBA's a lot older than battle rap is, so I'm sure they had to keep continuously getting those numbers up. Right, we're in the beginning of the whole battle rap culture, really. Like as far as like a
In terms of the mainstream, they just got onto BET.
They just got on the BET.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, like hip hop, the second wave of battle rappers are gonna fare way better than the originators.
Well, to piggyback off of what we saying earlier, knowing your worth and things like that, you got to negotiate that in your contract. Do you want a percentage of the YouTube views? Do you look at Cassidy? Cassidy denied $40,000 10 years ago to battle Murder Mook. Right now, Murder Mook, his stock is even higher than what it was back then. But they offered him whatever they offered him, and he didn't take it because he knew his worth. He wanted $250,000 just to battle.
Mook did.
No, Cassidy
wanted $250,000.
Right.
And then he was at his peak, though.
And then he was at his peak. So he wanted $250,000 a battle. And then here we are, today's event, you know, they just dropped today, Lockdown, shout out to Smack. They drop an event and he's on it. You know why? That's because he negotiated his worth. No one's going to fight for that for you. You have to.
Hey, nah, you know what?
That's true. Nah,
listen,
that's true.
Listen. You're right. You're absolutely right. But you know what, bro? Speaking of Smack doing all this foolishness in terms of not giving his rappers they money or whatever. Yo, fair. He got to get this together. He has to get this together. There's no way you put on a pay-per-view, you charge people $50 a pay-per-view, and you got, bro, we got here at 2:30 when it started, and we didn't finish till 10 o'clock. Why am I waiting 40 minutes in between battles? Why? There's no reason for that. Clear the stage, get them out of there, and if you don't have enough security, hire more security, because obviously you are making money to do this. You're making money to do this. So clear the security out. You laughing at me.
Hey,
don't laugh at me.
Hey, I'm not going to lie.
I'm agreeing with you.
I know, like, I love the battle rap culture, man. But I'm right behind you on this, man.
Yo, you've been to a live event, so you can speak to it more than I can. But actually, this is my first time seeing a live event that's not on YouTube or whatever. And honestly, even though I didn't pay for it out of my pocket, I feel like my man's got robbed. Like,
hey, it's to be honest, and I hate to do it like this way, but the nonsense kind of starts prior to even getting in the venue, right? So it's like even getting online, it's just one line, and then somebody will come out and go, all right. Now that they got the app, all the early bird app holders, you guys have to come out of the line. Now you guys get to go first. And then it's like...
Wait. Run that back again?
So it's like when everybody gets on the line, you see, if you look at any battle rap event, there's a line outside the venue, everybody's waiting to get in because there's no seats. Right. So everybody's trying to be first so they can be closer to the
general
stage.
Admission?
It's general admission the whole way. Or they can sell VIP tickets or whatever the case may be.
How much is general admission?
It kind of depends on the card. So if they're trying to pay Cassidy $100 tickets, easy at the door, right? So they'll have a general line, and then someone will come out and go, hey, anybody who has the app to the right, and all those app holders, because they have the app, they try to promote the app, they get to go in first now, just because they have the subscription. So it's not like, all right, here's the app holder.
How much is the subscription for the app?
$7.99 for the app. And you get battles way before they drop on YouTube.
Do you get the pay-per-views?
You get the pay-per-view content. And
for $7.99?
No, they drop it later, but it drops on that app first. So before it drops on YouTube officially, you get it on the apps. So 2 days ago, Ill Will and someone else, Ill Will and Av, Great battle. It was a classic. I heard 2-1. Ill Will, however you want to call it. But again, it dropped on the app only. So right now, the only people buzzing about that is the app holders. And everybody who's outside is kind of like, I got to see it. So now Twitter's like, yo, man, we got to get this app now.
Gotta get that.
But it's crazy. Like, it's super unorganized.
There's nothing wrong. All right, listen, making money. I'm not knocking nobody making a paper, right? But if you're going to make me pay $7.99 a month for an app, right? And if I still have to pay for the pay-per-view, right? There's no problem with that. That is fine. Give me quality. So the best way I can probably compare this to is I'm a fan of UFC. UFC has their own app, and you can subscribe to them. I don't. I'll probably just use it to pay for a pay-per-view. I paid for a pay-per-view one time. Flawless. There was nothing wrong with it. I had a nice UFC did. Nice stream. You know, the commentators are great. You know, in between fights, maybe a 10-minute wait, 15 if it's a crazy match. Everybody gets cleared out. Fam, we were here at 2:30 p.m. to watch the first battle. We finished watching the last battle, the main event, at 10 p.m.
All right, so
And you wasted my time. Your card was whack. Your card, the hottest battle of the night was a Tay-Rock Geechee battle, and then you gave me nothing but garbage. Yes, Smack, nothing but garbage.
6 battles.
My bad. Let me take that back. You gave me a great battle, not great. You gave me a good battle with Rock and Geechee.
Before we get into that,
but you gave me, aside from that, you gave me was a body bag.
I feel like if Smack was here, you'd punch him in the face.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not going that aggressive.
Right now.
I would love to see the change. It definitely needs to change. It's early in the career, but I feel like being at the event is even worse because
Talk about. So you're the only one out of all of us.
This is a live event
today. So we're talking about the lockdown event that happened today, which because of Smack protocol, you're not gonna see these battles until like 7 months from now.
Breaking news.
If you want to go to the IG account, I got some clips.
Deeper Than Rap.
Deeper Than Rap podcast.
But that was my first live event. We were thoroughly unimpressed.
Supremely
But
unimpressed.
you have been the only one that's been to a live battle event. You were there in person. Walk us through that. What is that like?
All right, so like I said, the disorganization starts before you get in. You get into this venue, now there's no seats, right? Which makes it really, really hard to stay interested. Which means your material on stage has to be superb or it's going to get restless. People are going to get tired.
You already have unhappy customers.
Yeah, you're already unhappy.
That's wild.
They're making money off the bar because the bar is open at every event. So I'm sure that they're making money off drinks and things like that. So you get in and you're waiting for these battles. Some of these battles, just to talk about it, don't make the event. Undercard battles, they don't stream there. You have to actually go to this event to see some battles that don't air.
Boxing events are like that too.
Right. You see some battles that you don't get to see. So that's a perk of being there, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like some of these battles get really intense, so it takes a while for everybody to get on stage. Then it's like the ruckus, and we saw it today with just everybody touching each other and things like that, which is, it kind of ruins the sport a little bit. But just the wait in between every battle, think about like, I want to break for a bathroom break, I'll take 5 minutes, but we're talking about how long? 45 minutes in between every battle.
So like if you watch the live program, they have a battle, and then they give you a break, and there's a break. I guess they clear the stage or whatever. And for us, whatever, we're sitting on a couch. Sitting on a couch was exhausting. I can't imagine standing during all this time.
Right.
Explain that, bro.
It was
Hold up.
Because I'm saying it's exhausting, and it's because I'm watching this. Yeah, it's like damn. So like, bro, we went and recorded songs. We went outside, had great times outside. We did like 40 jobs in the middle of all these battles. So imagine doing that live, and I'm just standing. I don't have the space to go record a song.
Yeah. The flip to that is that's your entryway to get in most of the time. So when those battle rappers come off stage, they're regular people again. They're not famous. So they'll come off, they'll take pictures. Some people will get walked up to. I witnessed this last time. Somebody walked up to a battle rapper and was like, "Yo, let me spit for you." And then they'll start a rap, like they'll just start rapping, people will start listening to you because there's nothing else to do. And then when people start to congregate with each other, like it's a big crowd of just like, man, this is kind of crazy, like this is what's going on. So there's a lot of photo taking and people rapping and things like that, trying to get on the stage. Everybody's trying to find their way, like, yo, how'd you get on? Like, what PG event is next? What could I show up to? And things like that. So, but even with that, it's still like there's a bunch of people drinking for 6 hours. It's gonna get aggressive. It's gonna be one of those crowds that are just like.
Do they sell food there?
They do, but they have like caterers
Vendors?
sometimes. Yeah, like vendors and things like that. But it's not crazy. Like the last one I went to, one lady was selling chicken. Just chicken. No exaggeration. No, bro.
No
Plate.
waffle.
It was like a plate. It was a plate.
That was a
with
little
chicken.
racist.
Just chicken.
Just chicken. And then the other person was selling hot dogs.
Just dogs.
Just the, I mean, it's, yo, but it's like, but it was like, yo, what it was like.
Wow.
So it's like,
You gotta pay extra for the buns.
yo, and it's almost the same,
That's a double entendre right
and
there.
it's almost the same amount as a drink. You gotta
Wait,
you gotta
what?
pay it. It's like, yo, do I get a Jameson and ginger or a hot dog? I gotta choose. Jesus Christ.
Shit, just letting y'all know Jameson winning for me every
That's
time.
a
Do
fact.
I drink or do I starve? Shout out
Right.
to Don Julio.
That's a fact. You can't, I don't know if a battle rapper don't mess his event up. I will, because I'm cooked right now.
So like you were saying and speaking to that, so that probably two things that I observed from that, right? Is number one, it explains why sometimes when you watch videos, the audiences are very quick. They're very what's the word that I'm looking for? They're volatile. The audience is volatile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we think that it's like, oh, yo, why they bugging out? The homeboy just came to the stage. They're exhausted, bro.
Tired.
I'm exhausted. I'm probably drunk and exhausted, and you ain't giving me no bars. Maybe one card, maybe two if I'm lucky. Cards were hot to that point.
But that's where the battle rapper has to come with the energy. You gotta give us the. If somebody comes out, prime example, Tay-Rock and Geechee was not the first battle, but it was the first battle we was excited for.
Yes.
We watched the first two battles or whatever, and we were kind of just like, eh. But when that battle came on, that energy, we was like, oh, it's about to get
We gonna
real.
stay here and watch
Yeah,
this.
we stood and we watched the whole thing. But that's how you get your worth. That's how you get to determine what percentage of what you want and how you build your value. It's like, all right, I'm gonna pay him because look how the crowd is reacting to him. And this is not one battle. This is every battle you could expect that from Tay-Rock. Geechee, the same thing. Every time we see Geechee right now, he's new. Mind you, not only is he new, he just did the BT battle the night before,
That's crazy.
and he went down and he still did the battle.
A lot of people are probably a lot of battle rappers are salty about him being on the BET.
Look, and he didn't look. He went to the BT Awards. Shotgun Sugar's not a pushover. DNA is not a pushover. T-Top is definitely not a pushover.
Yeah.
And then he went and faced the God.
Yeah.
He went and stood in front of Tay-Rock and still brought the energy. So it's like, that's how you determine your worth, man. I don't really feel bad for rappers that's not getting their paid, like they paycheck. I don't feel
So
bad.
that's my bad. Let me play to that too. So knowing that your audience is exhausted, as a battle rapper, and listen, I could understand it's easier said than done, whatever the case may be. You have to bring, like, you can't be on stage, be forgetting your bars, and then get mad that the audience is booing you.
Yeah.
Yo, chill.
Yo, if y'all don't calm down, I'm not gonna rap. Like,
So
I don't care.
let's give some context to what. So we watched the lockdown event.
Yeah, we watched the Lockdown pay-per-view, Lockdown 2019.
Yeah, and so the lockdown event took place in Philly. Cassidy was the main event. So
Cassidy Arsenal was the main event.
Cassidy Arsenal.
Whew.
Yeah.
On paper, it sound good.
It looked real good on
It looked
paper.
real good on paper.
So because he. Speaking of negotiation, he headlined a main card in Philly. That's wild. All right. So he battled Arsenal. He had that whole thing. But it seems like the crowd played a huge factor in that whole card. The last time that happened is when URL had a main event with Cassidy versus Goods in Houston. If you watch all of these events, it feels like every time URL has an event outside of New York, the crowd ruins the event. I'm sorry to say. When they were in Houston, everyone was booing and everyone was dissatisfied. You know what I'm saying? Same thing happened today in Philly. The Calico versus New Jersey Twerk event kind of was ruined by the crowd.
Shout out to Twerk.
Shout out to Twerk.
What happened? What happened in that round? In that battle, I'm sorry.
The fans were just not satisfied with the bars that were taking place. Mind you, Twerk was working.
Especially that first round.
That first round was
That
bananas.
first round,
He was
killed it.
cooking.
Calico has, if he wins this battle, it's going to be because we've watched it a gazillion times and we start picking up on the jewels he was dropping. Because he said, he had a bar where he was like, you know, you're saying this, but I still haven't told a lie. I was hard. Like I'm obviously I'm paraphrasing, but anyway, my overall point is battles seem way more enjoyable when they take place in New York. As soon as you go outside of New York, the fans are like,
Get too
I think it's and that kind of plays to the New York lifestyle anyway. It's so cultured in New York that there's everybody here. Like you'll find Mets fans, Yankee fans, you'll find Arizona fans, and all kinds of places. But when you go to these other towns, they're diehard Houston fans when you go to Houston. So the Houston rapper or that coast is gonna be super biased. Same thing in Philly. Cassidy literally said nothing. They introduced him and it was like 3-0 already. It was the crowd went crazy. It was like so I agree. I think the battle should stay in New York until.
Damn shame.
Yeah, it was bad, man. But
let me ask you a question, and then what I want to do is run down the list of battle rappers, and then just kind of decide who we want. But let me ask you this question: why does battle rap feel like the ugly stepsister of hip hop? Like, how come it feels so different from like hip hop music? Granted, battle rappers do not transition well.
No.
I beat it.
I got a very interesting way of looking at this, right? So I don't believe, and this is just me, I don't believe that it's battle rappers not being able to transition into hip hop.
Okay.
I believe that era of hip hop is no longer popular. Here's what I mean.
Like lyrics and bars.
Lyrics and bars is not the wave of hip hop anymore. I'm sorry. That's why other rappers like Tekashi can survive. That's why people like YNM Melly or whatever his name is, Melly, because that era of hip hop is what's alive. Battle rappers are known for bars. They're artistically doing metaphors and like things like that. So battle rap is the same thing as the Hot 97 freestyle. Everybody who likes bars listens to the Hot 97 freestyle. If your favorite rapper goes to Hot 97, you're gonna tune in, right? But you're not going to Hot 97 going, if you die, because that's not the audience you want there. So it's not that they can't transition, they have the style of music that is no longer popular anymore.
I like that answer.
So if you into battle rap, that's what you're looking for.
Do you think that style of music was, because I like battle this myself, do you think that style of music was ever popular? Like, what's like, all right, this is what's popping on the radio, or like, like bars, because people like to point to the 90s, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm like, yeah, like, in the 90s, like, they were spitting. But when I really think about it, like, the things that was hot, they wasn't really saying anything. Like, they were just making hit music.
Right.
And the people that was underground, they stayed underground. Like, you look at someone like the big examples like Jay-Z. Like, you look at Jay-Z now, everybody's like, oh, Jay-Z got hits, Jay-Z's this. But nobody was like, Reasonable Doubt wasn't playing on the radio.
That's a fact.
Volume 1 was great except for the commercial songs, and people was just like, all right, like that's not reaching it. And then Volume 2, when he really jumped up that ledge, like, all right, man, I'm gonna just go fully out.
I'm down for my audience
and double my dollars.
That's a fact.
And
I
then
like that.
he goes all the way. It's like, all right, like same thing with Nas. Like, I remember the Source Wars, right?
Yeah.
When Nas is probably one of those people like, all right, I'm gonna kill you with bars, but they're mad. He
brought out Genuine.
Bars.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh yeah, this is great. But at the Source Wars, which at the time was the Bible, at the Source Wars, like, he's getting no recognition, nothing, but Bad Boy and Death Row was killing it because they know how to, they were making songs.
Right.
And they said that Nas was like, and the seat, like, standing up straight at first, and then my legs like,
Slump
got
down.
Right.
Wow.
But the thing,
I'm sorry. And then, like, in 96, it was really more songs.
He dropped his best shit in 99 with Genuine.
But the thing that ties those two things together is, look at the demographic that battle rap is targeting. It's something that we relate to, right? So if you're listening to Reasonable Doubt and you're listening to some of those songs that we categorizing as not popular or not on the radio, we can feel that music because at some point in our life we kind of dealt with that, right? So we're looking at it like, all right, this is something I've been through. This is something I went through. This is something that I can relate to. This is something that I see. In battle rap, when someone says, like, what's your life like? Suge says, what's your life like a lot? Or he'll say, walk into the store and not knowing if you're gonna make it back. Like, that's a relatively real thing for people.
That's all man.
You know what I mean?
Let another man get in your face.
Right, like if your store is literally 1 block away from where your neighborhood is, and it's in the other person, you gotta walk 3 blocks the opposite way where there's no enemies. So the fact that we can relate to that music is what made it popular. So it doesn't have to be bars per se, but if we can relate, we feel like we're in the music now. That's why we listen to some things like DMX, and you can feel
Top five.
that. I agree.
You know what else? Before we get into the results or who we think won, I call it the Stone Cold effect. A lot of the reasons why Stone Cold Steve Austin, WWF, pre-WWE or whatever.
Yeah, go ahead.
Attitude era.
The Attitude Era was because a lot of us lived vicariously through Stone Cold. We wanted to talk to our boss like that.
Yeah,
That's how we
absolutely.
wanted to talk to. And so for us, getting in somebody's face and like we're like, I would never, but talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the energy is super contagious, and we're just like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, when Suge is not the best, like, bar for bar battle rapper.
Nah, but he gives
But
you
we
that.
love his energy. Like, when he starts bumping people on the stage, I'm like, yo!
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It feels good. So,
Yeah. So just to get on, just to close out your point of why does it feel like it's a stepchild? Honestly, I don't have an answer. I don't really know. I haven't dug deep into it. All I know is that there was a point around like 2013 where it was getting hot. Like the industry was looking at battle rap as a way to make some money, as a way to push it up.
Sure.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a fight or something. I don't know what happened.
Smack runs the culture.
Huh?
That's what happens. Smack runs the culture.
Meaning?
I'm meaning that and it's sad. It's not that it's sad to say. Shout out to Smack. He's doing an incredible
Monopoly?
job.
Like he has a monopoly on it?
Yeah, this doesn't move without Smack.
Gotcha.
There's so many other outlets that's happening, but Smack is making this happen.
Gotcha.
Let's look at, if you want to, like, not to like break off crazy, but Eminem tried to throw an event with that dude
Total
and
Slaughter was ass.
And
Total Slaughter. It was called Total Slaughter.
Yeah, and it was they put a bunch of money into that and it didn't work.
Yeah.
Smack has the culture right now.
Smack
And
makes
until
it-
somebody takes that from him, he has to lead the way.
Facts. So we don't have much time left, so let's try to just go through this and wrap this up. You want to go through the battles? Could somebody bring the card up real quick?
I will
the
bring
card
the-
up,
I will
and then
bring
we'll
the
just
card
talk
up.
about who we think won, who we think didn't win.
Alright, I'm gonna do it based off the flyer, so let's just go through it real quick.
Go.
JC versus Shotgun Suge, what you got?
Shotgun Suge. No?
You going with Sugar? No.
No.
Or you didn't?
What?
Nope.
He wasn't even here for that. That's the funny part.
Yeah, he got me. He got me.
I did.
I
I was
got me.
like, what?
Yeah, he got me. He totally got me.
Listen, that's another thing. Smack, your announcers are whack, bro. You gotta get some better announcers.
Oh,
they over here
no.
talking about JC30 Shotgun Suge. They smoking crack.
Don't believe the hype. Stay out the
Correct.
crack section. We watched it. We put our money down.
He won-
Shotgun Suge. Yo, rest in peace, JC.
For real. Suge 30 them. What you got a different opinion about that?
I got Shotgun Suge 2-1, but I think JC off of bars might have won in the room, but when it airs on the thing, it's gonna
They'll
be
see what's up.
Suge.
Next one.
So we're gonna go to Bill Collector and DNA.
Bill
Snoop.
Collector.
Oh my God.
Bill Collector needs to never rap again in battle rap history. I don't know how he made it on the card.
I ain't going.
Yo.
How did I pay to have Bill Collector on the card?
I'm not gonna lie, Bill Collector is the type of battle rapper that makes people want to tune in and then see him and be like, yeah, no, I'll never watch this again.
All right, I'll watch this one. Bill Collector got smoked, boy. My God. Oh my God.
All I'm gonna say is,
I don't know what that was.
if DNA won 25 bands, he made the culture look good the day before. That should be his going fee. 25 bands of battle. That's how I feel about
I
that.
hear you.
Talk about it.
So DNA won, but it was a sloppy win. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was sloppy.
Bill Collector's, all due respect, I'm talking about your craft, not Bill Collector as the person. He's trash.
Go ahead. Let's move forward.
Go.
All right, so let's go to K-Shine and Reed Dollars.
I didn't even watch that.
I was outside that.
I don't
whole
like
time.
K-Shine. Reed Dollars?
I don't know who K-Shine is
Y'all sleeping right now.
or read dollars, but I need dollars.
Endorses.
Endorses.
Shout out to Google.
Shout out to Google.
In that battle particularly, I went with Shine. Some people might go with Reed because he's from Philly. But I got Sean winning 2-1, so that's
I
how
went
I
on a
feel.
smoke break for that one.
New Jersey Twerk and Calico.
Jesus
Twerk.
Christmas. Jesus Christmas.
I got the 9.
Alright, so
I got
listen.
the baby mystical.
Alright,
Twerk got
so
that one.
Twerk got it.
Talk
He
about it.
killed him. But the fact that the battle was not allowed to finish was garbage, bro. It was so unprofessional.
I got twerk. I'm a spoiler alert, because you're not gonna see this battle for another 7 months.
Breaking news.
The crowd was horrible. They were booing both rappers, right? And then the third round rolled around. Calico slipped up in the second. He stumbled a little bit, tried to bring it back from the middle of the second round, and the crowd was just like, nah, we don't want to hear that. So he didn't even finish the second round. Third round came around. They were booing Calico again. And then he got tired of it, to be honest with you. He got tired of it. He started freestyling. The crowd was like, boo. He was like, you know what? Whatever. And he quit the third round. He not quit, but he was just like, whatever. Like, Jersey, it's over. And then Twerk brought out, which would in New York it would have killed. Twerk was cooking, and then he brought out T-Top to spit against Calico. They booed T-Top. Smack should never hold a battle in Philly ever again. Coming off the heels of that fight, T-Top coming out to battle Calico, that was amazing. Philly dropped the ball on that.
So
Twerk 2-1.
basically, I think everybody agreed between Twerk and Calico, the crowd 3-0. The crowd won 3-0.
I fell asleep.
I was kind of waiting on this one, but this is the real one that we gotta talk about. So Geechee Gotti and Tay Rock.
Battle of the night.
Battle of the night. Tay-Rock got it 2-1.
I knew y'all was gonna have some.
Tay-Rock got it 2-1.
That's why I held on to this
I'm
one.
not gonna dance on it too long because we gotta keep moving forward. We ain't got much time left. Tay-Rock won, 2-1, clear to me.
Hold on though. Tay-Rock's first round. Tay-Rock went first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tay-Rock went first. He was cooking.
Smoking.
To the point where when Tay-Rock finished his first round, everyone left on a break. It was me and Kev. No.
It was you and L.
Me and Al sitting there watching Geechee's his first round. Geechee might have won the first round and no one was there. Do you remember when the Miami Heat was down to San Antonio?
Yeah.
And then everyone left?
Everybody
Yeah.
left.
And then Miami came back. That was me and Al. We was like, yo! Everyone came back and we was like, yo, Geechee won the first round. They was like, what? And we was like, yeah, but y'all left. So y'all didn't see it. But I still got Tay-Rock 2-1.
Same consensus, 2-1. Rock.
Great battle of the
Battle of the
night.
night.
I hope you guys get to enjoy it 4 months from now.
Alright, and then the last battle, which is awfully disappointing, Cassidy and Arsenal.
I'm not gonna waste my time. Cass got 3-0, bro. Cass got
Yeah,
3-0.
Cassidy got
That
bodied, man.
was a waste of our time. That was a waste of money. That was a waste of resources.
Facts.
Just, bro, good job to Arsenal. Arsenal did it to him. But Arsenal put hands on him because the scuffle almost broke out and things almost got nasty. Gilly almost got crazy on him. But hopefully you guys will see it.
I
I don't
like
know
that
if
part.
you
That
will.
was the best part.
That was the best
Put the hands
best
on. Put the hands on them.
The best part was when they almost fought. I ain't gonna lie, because even Arsenal said it. The battle would have been better if it just would have ended there with them fighting.
Yo,
That's how bad it
and
was.
that's
What did he say
disrespectful.
about Cardi B's teeth to Arsenal? What did he say?
Yo, Cass was on stage talking about, yeah, you look at his teeth, they dirty. They done up, like Cardi B's teeth. Then he got them done up. I was like, yo, bro, it was so bad. Yo, it was so bad. Arsenal pulled out a blunt, started smoking, and when Cassidy thought he was cooking, because Cassidy really thought he was cooking, blew it in his face, and Ars said, yo, what the f is he talking about? And it really was, what the heck is Cassidy talking about, bro?
Hey,
You're gonna close this out with the battle rap stuff. Cassidy should never battle again.
Ever again.
Let alone the main event on a main stage. He lives in 2006. He's convinced everyone through his trolling that he belongs on that stage. He does not. Arsenal, who I am not a fan of Arsenal. Arsenal was cooking, bro. He was in rare form. That's not even a body bag. What's over body bag? Massacre? Cassidy got massacred. He should never battle again on the URL stage. He should go to the King of the Dot. Shout out to King of the Dot. Y'all doing great things out there in Canada.
That was like Saw Part
But-
8 or something, bro.
But it
That
was bad. It
nasty.
was really
So
bad.
hard.
It was really bad.
You wanna close
Take
out?
us home.
I think as far as the event goes, pretty disappointing. Based off the crowd, it's not all the battle rappers' fault. I want to say that. And I think the most interesting thing in the next coming topics, you'll probably see this on Twitter, is did Cassidy pay Gilly? So that's what I'm gonna look forward to. I just want to see if Cassidy paid Gilly.
Did Cassidy
Gilly was
stay
awfully in the front.
Stay more. We got a couple minutes. Stay more.
Gilly was in the front line, like the king of Philly should be. He talked that talk, but he was definitely, his presence was in the building. So I want to know. I just want to see what everybody else thinks. Chime in. Make sure you hit the Deep in the Rap podcast on Instagram, their YouTube. I want to know what you guys think about Gilly the Kid being on Cassidy's side, because they had a little thing for each other.
Yeah, it was definitely a rift.
had a
So
beef.
for Gilly to be on that side, it was
Something happened.
it was telling of something.
Something happened.
Definitely telling of something.
And Kid, out of everybody on that card, Gilly had the best stage presence.
That's a
bro.
fact.
Common Collective.
Yo, when
real.
Ars put hands on Cassidy and everyone wilded out,
Gilly almost had his face like, y'all won't make it out of here.
Did he
he
say
said
that?
that.
Didn't he say it? He said, "Yo, y'all won't make it out of here."
Someone climbed on stage and he was like, y'all won't go home tonight.
Shout out to Gilly, man.
Oh my gosh.
But
So,
Wallow,
yeah,
shout out
you guys
to Wallow
Wallow on
too.
it?
Nah, man, just, I hope to see the culture like elevate, but not a good card for me. $50 down the drain.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
fact.
I love the culture of battle rap because it keeps us a little bit closer to the essence. But you gotta get it together, bro. Y'all gotta get it together. We're gonna close out once again with our amazing Tekashi reporter,
Hey, yo, what's
giving
Prayway?
us some of the best news that you guys will ever hear in updates from Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yo, it's Prayway. All right, shout out to Prayway. Shout out to all my Prayway fans out there. Real quick, because we don't have enough time. This is old news, but it's not breaking news for us. But Tekashi 6ix9ine just recently turned down the witness protection program, and everyone's like, yo, he's crazy. And I don't think it's that he's crazy or that he think he can't be touched. I think the tide is turning, fam. I think there's a huge conversation happening within our culture right now, the hip hop subculture, and they're saying, who's making these rules? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is the no snitching rule so elevated above all these other rules? Who's making the rules and who's benefiting off these rules? You know what I'm saying? Because yes, I'm gonna keep saying it because I don't want either one of us to get shot. Okay? When we start doing live events.
Try it if you want to.
I know snitching is bad, but are we just gonna overlook being kidnapped and getting robbed
A lot
and
of people are.
extorted? Are we just gonna overlook this and hold to the mythological rule of no snitching? And I say mythological because Tekashi 6ix9ine not the first person to snitch.
And come back.
There
you go.
We said this last episode.
Yeah,
You wanna
Alpo's
say it again?
home in Harlem.
Alpo's home, and
Alpo
he's
is home in Harlem.
they made a movie about this dude, and he's taking pictures in Harlem, posting up, and even him in the Tekashi case. Tekashi's not the only one to take the stand. CEO Chris is probably gonna do a couple years, but he also took the stand against people that he liked. He shouted out on Wiretap that he was a fan of Harv and this other dude, Nuke. Not to be confused with OG Nuke. If you know, you know. If you don't, do your homework. But Harv's co-defendant Nuke, CEO Chris is on Wiretap saying those two were the only people that he liked in Nine Trey, and he took the stand against them.
Gotcha.
He was on the stand pointing and giving out details, and somehow CEO Chris is not in the news or whatever. Now, Tekashi is the polarizing figure, so I get that, but no one else is talking about literally anybody else. And so I feel like the conversation is happening within our culture. Ebro's even mad about it. He's like, everything's changing, and I'm like, nothing's changing. Snitching has been around since snitching has been around.
Nothing's changing.
Forever.
Tory Lanez said he doesn't mind doing a song with him. J.U. had said that a producer said he doesn't mind doing a song with him when he comes out. So yeah, that is what it is. How much time I got to close out, Josh?
Take it away, boss.
How much time do I have, though?
You have, first of all, don't yell at me. Stop yelling at me.
Oh my lord.
He already called you boss. Relax.
I'm sensitive.
Trying to be nice.
You got like 4 minutes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Alright, so listen, y'all.
Shout me out. Apologize first.
Whoa, relaxed.
Y'all gonna battle?
You ain't never met another podcaster like me. Podcast.
I'm from Philly.
Take us home, boss.
Guys, I just want to say I'm thankful for having you guys here. Al, thank you for coming on the show.
Yes.
Every time I get together with you guys, this is a dream. This is just honestly, it's beautiful. This ain't work. This ain't hard. This is just some dope stuff to do. We do this anyways we would have did this anyways for free. We just do this and we figure we might as well put it on YouTube. With that being said,
money.
hopefully one day. Hopefully one day.
See, I like this and everything.
Yeah, nah. Hopefully one day. But yeah, nah. I say this to say, guys, if you have an aspiration, if you have a thought that you want to like go and inquire about, chase it, do it. If it's you being a writer, a blog writer, any, do whatever you want. Go for it. Stop being stuck on it. Because there's no reason you shouldn't. There's no excuses, man. Especially in today's day. With that being said, follow the podcast at Deeper Than Rap Podcast. My personal IG is BigKev92, BIGKEV92. L, you want to give me your social handle?
My social handle on IG is Uno the Wolf, UNO_DA_Wolf 8.
Pastor Josh, your social media handle.
At Josh_Olivero.
Jordan, close us out.
It's a lot of underscores going around, man. I'm getting my IG out today, man.
Oh!
IG,
Oh!
Man. I had to switch it up, man. The IG is at Cardi B's Crooked Teeth. No, much you got to straighten down. My fault, yo. Cardi B's Straight Teeth. Yo, we good now, bro.
Wow. Yo, we out. It's over.